Hello students, welcome to this lesson on salts. In today's lesson, you will identify some salts, you will predict the names of some salts and how they can be formed. Also, you will learn about some uses of salts. So, let's start. When talking about salts, you're probably thinking about table salt that is used for food flavoring. The chemical name for table salt is sodium chloride. But did you know that sodium chloride is not the only salt that exists? Well, we have a variety of salts and we use them in our daily life. Some other examples of salt include ammonium sulfate, potassium nitrate, calcium sulfate, and magnesium sulfate. As you have observed, various types of salts exist. All the salts shown so far are white in color. However, it should be noted that not all salts are white. Salts can also be colored. For example, copper 2 sulfate is blue. Copper 2 carbonate is green salt. And iron-free chloride is yellow in color. So, what are salts? Salts are said to be acid derivatives. This means that salts can be obtained from acids. In general, the term salt refers to a group of compounds formed from the neutralization reaction between an acid and a base. In general, when an acid reacts with a base, a salt and water are formed. This reaction is known as neutralization reaction. So, the name of the salt gives us an indication of the acid from which it is derived. Examples of some acids found in the school laboratory include hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, and sulfuric acid. Now, let's have a look at how salts are named from the different acids. For example, sodium chloride. The word chloride shows that sodium chloride can be derived from hydrochloric acid. Another example is iron-free chloride, which can also be obtained from hydrochloric acid. Ammonium nitrate. The word nitrate shows that ammonium nitrate can be derived from nitric acid. Another example is potassium nitrate, which can also be obtained from nitric acid. Now, let's have a look at calcium sulfate. The word sulfate indicates that calcium sulfate can be obtained from sulfuric acid. Sodium sulfate is another salt which can be obtained from sulfuric acid. Therefore, all salts derived from hydrochloric acid will end with the term chloride. All salts derived from nitric acid will end with nitrate, and all salts derived from sulfuric acid will end with sulfate. Now, try to deduce the name of the acid from which the following salts can be derived. Copper 2 sulfate can be derived from sulfuric acid. Silver nitrate can be derived from nitric acid. Lead 2 chloride can be derived from hydrochloric acid. Different types of salts can be found in nature. Often, the salt sodium chloride is obtained by evaporation of seawater. However, salts can also be prepared in the laboratory by using acids. As mentioned earlier, salts can be formed from acids and bases. A base can either be a metal hydroxide or a metal oxide. So, when an acid like hydrochloric acid reacts with a base such as sodium hydroxide, the salt sodium chloride and water are formed. Similarly, if sodium oxide, which is a base in the form of a metal oxide, reacts with hydrochloric acid, the salt sodium chloride and water are also formed. Now, try to write word equations for the following neutralization reactions. Potassium hydroxide is a base. It reacts with nitric acid to form potassium nitrate and water. Since copper 2 oxide is a base, it will react with sulfuric acid to produce copper 2 sulfate and water. In fact, all salts have various uses. Now, let's take a look at some salts that we use in our daily life. Baking powder contains sodium bicarbonate, also known as sodium hydrogen carbonate. This salt is used in baking as a leavening agent. Another salt is sodium carbonate, which is used in the manufacture of glass. Ammonium sulfate is used in fertilizers. Another salt present in fertilizers is potassium nitrate. Calcium sulfate is used to make plaster cast, also known as plaster of Paris, to repair fractured bones. Magnesium sulfate is used as a laxative to treat constipation. Another salt that is also used in laxatives is sodium sulfate. Here is a summary of some uses of various salts. From this lesson, you are now familiar with salts. You have learned the following. The term salt refers to a group of compounds formed from neutralization reactions. The acid and the base used enable us to predict the salt form. And salts have applications in our daily life. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Goodbye.